In 1995, Kel-Tec unveiled the P11, a 9mm pistol that was as small as most single-stack guns, but it held 10 rounds of 9mm. And unfortunately for the P11, Kel-Tec, who are my dogs, so I say this with all the love in the world, Kel-Tec did the Kel-Teciest thing that it could possibly do with the P11, and that is snatch defeat from the jaws of victory by the inclusion of one flaw, and that was equipping the P11 with an awful, heavy, double-action trigger that was like Bowflex for your index finger. It stifled an otherwise brilliant design, as most Kel-Tec ideas are. It wasn't until 2018 that SIG released the SIG P365 and showed the market that as long as you make a smaller gun with more bullets, it will smash if you don't give up on the gun before you design the trigger. The P365 was again a micro double stack holding 11 rounds of 9mm in a pocketable frame. It was a huge success, and the industry pivoted on that. In 2019, Springfield releases the Hellcat, a similarly designed pistol holding 12 rounds of 9mm. That same year, Glock went in a slightly different direction with the 43X, making a larger pistol with an 11-round capacity, but its bigger frame also allows it to accept third-party magazines, which means the 43X can hold a whopping 16 rounds if you equip it with the Shield S15 mag. But there was a name noticeably absent from the Micro 9 Renaissance list. Smith & Wesson has now brought a challenger to bear. While Smith was late to the game, they have a well-executed design here that's likely going to be the least expensive double-stack Micro 9 on the market now that the P11's been discontinued. We're all familiar with the Smith & Wesson Shield at this point, as it was one of the best-selling single-stack compact 9mm. Introduced in 2005, the original Shield was concealable, it was reliable, but you could also pick it up historically for as little as $200, making it a huge commercial win. In 2017, Smith introduced the Shield 2.0, which added forward slide serrations, improved grip texture, and a better trigger. And today, Smith & Wesson introduces the Shield Plus. As you guessed, a double-stack micro-compact that holds 10+1 with a flush-fit magazine, or 13+1 with the extended magazine that comes with it. Let's go over the specs of this new pistol before we get into the full review. Quickly. The Shield Plus 9 is a 9mm striker-fired polymer-framed handgun. The Plus has a barrel length of 3.1 inches, a width of 1.1 inches at the widest point, but only 0.94 inches if you exclude the controls. It weighs 20.2 ounces, and it's actually lighter than the standard Shield 9. The barrel and slide are treated with Armornite. No, that's not my favorite character from medieval times. It's Smith & Wesson's proprietary melaniting treatment that works pretty damn well. This will have a $553 MSRP. Now this sounds like a lot, but for some reason this sector of the market, the MSRPs are kind of out of step with actual street price. 553 MSRP, the Hellcat is $569, and the SIG, which you pick up street price for like $500, is $599 MSRP. So you can expect that this is probably going to be the cheapest of those options. Most of us would also expect that this gun's basically a slightly larger Shield 2.0, and that's that. Unfortunately, Smith wasn't going to let me just end this video after 5 minutes, so they included a few thoughtful upgrades over and above the 2.0's feature, which raises the question, is a Smith & Wesson M&P 3.0 on the way across the line? Let's not get there yet. The first upgrade you're going to notice right away is the trigger. Instead of the aggressively curved conventional trigger that's always come with the Smith & Wesson M&P, the Plus includes a semi-flat trigger that's said by someone who doesn't like flat triggers, nearly perfect. Now Smith says that the Plus has the same trigger weight as the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0, but according to my tests, and I don't know if it's the trigger geometry or if it's actually a lighter trigger, but this one clocks in at almost exactly 5 pounds while I'm hitting around 6 pounds with most of my 2.0 guns. And now you've got this flat trigger shoe in addition to what's a pretty decent trigger out of the box. And flat triggers, so hot right now, you guys know it. This is a massive improvement that I hope carries over to the rest of the line, maybe. Second, the frame. Yes, they maintain the excellent skateboard tape texture from the M&P 2.0, but if there's something that looks slightly different about this frame, it isn't just because it's about 1/10 of an inch thicker than the standard Shield. Smith & Wesson has actually Cerakoted the Plus frame to give it a deeper, darker, matte black coloring that better matches the slide as opposed to the more grayish, rubbery in appearance frame from the earlier generations of the Shield. Third, and although I didn't have an optics-ready copy for my review, Smith & Wesson assures me that there's going to be a Shield Plus coming out with an RMSC footprint, which is quickly becoming the de facto standard footprint for mounting optics on micro compact 9 pistols. And if you go no optics, you still have these excellent no snag, no fax style sights that are perfect for carry. And they bring that rear sight right to the rear of the slide to maximize sight radius. As you probably guessed, knowing Smith & Wesson, there are indeed other variations on the way, including 1 or 2 from Smith & Wesson's Performance Center. I can't disclose what those models are just right now. Some of the best features of the Plus are not new features, but things that they didn't change at all. For example, the Shield Plus is going to be compatible with your regular Smith & Wesson Shield holsters. It'll also accept Smith & Wesson Shield sights. That's something that's obviously a good idea, but if Smith would have overlooked this reverse compatibility, the Plus wouldn't have sight and holster availability that's so critical for a good concealed carry gun to succeed commercially. Lucky for us, there's plenty of third-party support already in place for the Shield Plus by virtue of this shared architecture. But enough about features. How does it shoot and how does it carry? As you see here, it carries very well. Dimensionally, it is almost identical, and it weighs almost the same as the Shield 2.0. I own a Smith & Wesson Shield 2.0, and I've honestly never carried it. I tend to pull my shots to the left if I can't get a full 5-finger grip on the gun, which is a tendency that most of us have when we're shooting while dangling a pinky. However, for me, it's even more exaggerated with my Shield than other smaller pistols like, say, my Glock 43, so I never really thought about carrying it. It's a total different story with the Shield Plus.
Not bad. The more I shoot it, the more I like it. But yeah, that's rapid fire with the 10 and the 13 round. Pretty good.
The funny part is you're only pulling the dimensions this way a little bit, that way a little bit, over the standard Shield, but in my personal opinion, the Plus shoots much better.
I like it. A lot easier to shoot than the standard.
Yeah, a lot. It truly is. That's no bullshit.
And it's just the right size for me, ergonomically speaking.
We're at 25 yards, so we got targets between basically like 15 and 25 yards, 50 to 75 feet. You can see all over there. This is a tiny gun. It's a teensy gun. I'm actually going to be really surprised if we can put hits on all of these targets. Let's give it a whip. There it is. There it is. Not so bad.
Stand by. Threat.
Woo! Does that mean it's going to be the right size for you? No, what I'm trying to say is if you weren't a big fan of the regular Shield, you could be pleasantly surprised by the Plus. And if you already like the Shield, there's a good chance that you'll shoot the Plus as well or maybe better than the original Shield. The Plus is actually somewhat bittersweet. When you look at the Glock 43X, when you look at the SIG P365, the Springfield Hellcat, none of those guns was as close to any other gun in their respective lineups. There was no intra-brand cannibalization, right? There wasn't like a single stack SIG P365 before. The Hellcat was kind of its own deal. And yeah, the Glock 43 and the Glock 43X, they used the same upper, But the frame makes these two guns like Sammy Hagar Van Halen and David Lee Roth Van Halen. Like both of them, the same brand, but very different in their own right in good ways. But we'll go ahead and say the 43X is the superior Diamond Dave version. While we're on comparisons, the Plus is like peanut butter M&Ms to the Shield's peanut M&Ms. It's like Coke Zero to Diet Coke. It's Padme to Leia. It's Brosnan to Dalton. What I'm trying to say in a really nerdy and kind of weird way is that the Plus is the newer, better version of what it was. It's going from something great to something even greater. You might not have anything bad to say about its predecessor, but at the same time, you can't think of any reason why the new version isn't better in pretty much every single way. If I'm being completely honest with you guys, like I am literally 100% of the time, the Shield Plus is so close to the original Shield, and they share all of the same great features. The Plus is barely larger, not even heavier, and if you walked into a gun store last week and you saw a Plus, you probably wouldn't even notice it, even if you picked it up. But it has almost double the capacity. It's got a better trigger, plus you can use all of your old holsters. So while Smith & Wesson might have been the last of the big names in defensive pistols to switch to the single stack frame with a double stack capacity format, they were definitely the first to do such a good job that they functionally obviated a beloved prior design of their own. And as I said, that makes the Plus kind of bittersweet. We've only had the Plus for about a week, but I've already put 500 rounds through it, including 100 rounds of steel case Tula. It's worked perfectly, and it hasn't been cleaned once, not even right after I got it. That's not really a surprise because the Shield's already deemed reliable, and according to Smith & Wesson, almost nothing was changed mechanically. The dimensions were slightly increased, and the magazine was the main difference, as tends to be the case with most of these micro double stacks. Hey, while we're on the magazine, let me let you in on a little secret. The Plus Mag is manufactured by Metgar, the Italian company that's made over 100 million OEM magazines for many other premium brands. I much prefer the black and friction-coated Metgar mags of the Plus to the naked steel Shield magazines. So obviously I've said a lot of good stuff here, and I always try to include a negative observation or two, even with guns that I like on TFBTV. Honestly, that was really difficult with the Shield. So I asked gun hipster Ryan, my supremely talented cameraman, what he liked about this gun and what he didn't like. He's a great camera guy, he's a great shooter, man, he loves to bitch. But incredibly, I couldn't get Ryan to come up with one complaint about this gun in our couple of range sessions, so here's my shot. I often like to bring the Shield to the concealed handgun courses I teach because a lot of new shooters or people looking for their first concealed carry gun tend to be attracted to the Shield. It's small, but it's not too small. You have the option to get it with a safety. It's reliable. It's inexpensive. But one issue that comes up every single time in these classes is that the Smith & Wesson Shield slide release is pretty damn difficult to engage.
3, 2, 1.
All right. Ooh.
Release the slide.
I'm going to. See? It's fun. You try it, dude. Don't.
No, I know.
It did work its way a little bit loose after 500 rounds down the pipe, but it's still not one of the finer points of the gun.
All right, now that we've kind of messed with it a little bit, it's a little easier to hit this slide release, but I would still go over the top just to be safe.
Second, perhaps a more significant negative is that it's the least expensive option. Bear with me here. Yeah, it's $16 cheaper MSRP than the Hellcat. It's $46 cheaper MSRP than the P365. But both the Hellcat and the P365 come with night sights standard, while the Plus does not. That said, at least the money you save with the MSRP will just about get you a front sight like the Hellcat or a full set of night sights like the P365, or you might not even care that much because you plan on getting the optics ready version. I've also got to mention that the P365 has the same capacity as the Plus, but it's an ounce and a half lighter and it's a little bit shorter, but that also has something to do with that drastic downward angle that the P365 has going from the back strap of the grip to the front strap. If you measure from the front strap, like the longest point, they're almost the same. So pretty close, but there's a slight size and weight edge to the P365. But in conclusion, the Shield Plus is a fantastic example of a manufacturer applying critical thought to a new release. The Plus shows that Smith's paying attention to the market trends, paying attention to what the customer wants, and they're receptive to changing. But they're still sticking to the fundamentals and keeping what works. You're getting more capacity with an unnoticeable dimensional and weight difference, and you're getting additional features that make the upgrade worthwhile for current Shield owners, including the flat trigger and optics readiness. But thank God you're also maintaining sight and holster reverse compatibility. The Plus was a little late to the market, yes, but Smith already has a dedicated fan base who probably just found their next upgrade. The long and short of it is that there are a handful of good micro-compact double-stack 9s on the market today, and if you have one already and you like it, good. But if you're looking at stepping up to what's become the next generation in concealed carry, it would be an absolute mistake to not consider the Shield Plus when you're looking at your options. Guys, thanks a ton as usual for watching. We are viewer supported. If you enjoy the content, first of all, subscribe. Second, if you don't mind, pop on over to subscribestar.com/TFBTV or patreon.com/TFBTV. Throw us $1 a month or something and support us. You're automatically entered every month to win one of 3 $100 Blue Alpha gift certificates. Also, if you're at the $5 or the $10 level on Patreon or Subscribestar, you're automatically entered every month into a drawing where we give away 4 guns generously donated by our sponsor, Top Gun Supply. And we announce those winners every month on our monthly TFBTV mailroom. But you know what? I'm the real winner here because I got to share the brand new Shield Plus with you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks again for watching. Take care.